What's going on? Going through some stuff out here at work, and just like normal, when I got downtime, I do a little maintenance and whatnot. And I had a box full of Simmons floating around in my box, so figured I'd do a little video on how I sharpen them. Everybody does it different. So first off, if you're new to sharpening a Simmons head, best advice I can give you is get you a Sharpie, and you can see I worked one edge already. It's ready to go. This one's got rust and blood. I shot a hog with it a month or so ago, I guess, and didn't clean it up, just threw it back in a box. So color your bevel. That way you can see if you're putting the right amount of pressure and you're getting the whole bevel worked instead of just the tip or the back of the wing. Because you're gonna need something that has contour like that. For these heads, you can't use a flat stone. It just doesn't work. So what I do, I put my, this is a diamond Smith stick. It's not the jewel that you see a lot of people use. I think that's probably the better option, honestly, because the three-sided one, you've got a coarse, medium, and a fine. This is just one grit. I start with it. I work my burr and rework my bevel with it. It's not super aggressive, but it does work one pretty quick. And then I go to a butcher steel, and to finish off, I've got a ceramic stick or a piece of leather, either one. It's whatever you prefer, really. But so we're gonna rework the bevel. It's got a couple of dents or dings in it, and some rust that needs to be worked off, and nothing fancy. You just work it, give it a look, and you'll be able to see, where your high points are, and you can adjust. So these are big heads. You may not be able to work it all at one time. You may have to work the back edge, then move up to the front. So, but don't get in a hurry is the biggest thing. This is about the only time you're gonna see me really put a lot of pressure on a head is if I'm having to rework, some bad spots out. But get your burr built up on one side. Right now, we're not worried about finishing this thing off in record time. So I'm trying to work as fast as I can to keep the video short. But the biggest deal is to rework your bevel and get the bad spots out of it. All right, so you can tell there that I've got it dressed up really good, and you can actually see. I don't know if it'll. You can actually kind of see there's the burr right there at the very top edge. You can kind of see it. All right, so we're in good shape on that side. Now we're gonna flip her over. We're gonna do the same thing on this other side. Give it a good go. Check, make sure what you're hitting about the same. Just work this back edge a little bit. Nothing to it. Move all the way up the head. It's frustrating when you start because most people, they get them and they wait till the last minute, getting ready to go hunting. You bust them out, shot them in your target. These things don't come sharp enough to hunt. I don't care who you are. Anybody tells you that these things will come out of the package ready to hunt does not know what they're talking about. They ain't nowhere near close to being sharp enough to hunt with. So if you're gonna hunt with a Simmons head, you need to be dedicated to it. And yes, the route of the Willie sharpener, it works. I'm not real crazy about them. I don't think that they put a lasting edge. And I mean, yeah, if you're shooting, light skinned critters like a deer, you're probably going to be just fine. I've used one in a pinch when I didn't have time, and I worked with what I had. Okay, that dude came to life just on this. Really, really good. Now I'm gonna go to the steel and finish it off, and I'm gonna do 6 or 8 swipes on each side, 6 or 8 swipes on each side again, and then I'm gonna just start counting it down, like 4, 3, 2, 1, or whatever. Everybody's got a different system. Doesn't really have to be scientific. Now at this point, all I'm doing is just sliding the blade across this steel with no pressure. Basically just letting the weight of the head and this little cut off piece of area shaft do the work. I'm not putting any finger pressure to amount to anything on it. Basically just honing it off. Alright, let's see. I don't have any hair left on my good arm, so yeah, it's pretty much there. I'm gonna go a couple more passes, and then I'll show you how I finish. If I was at home, I've got a piece of leather that I'd be using. It's at the house. So here's my work boot. These tabs right here, you can see that I use on my pocket knife and everything. Just drag it backwards. Drag your head backwards. Obviously, if you go towards the blade, you cut your boot all up. Alright. So let's see if I can get it to focus. Like I say, I ain't got that baby's ready to go. I mean, it's popping the hair off of my arm, no problem. I don't have super thick hair, but it's plenty good. So about 6 minutes or so, and she's ready to go to the woods. So that's how I do it. Smith diamond stone off of Amazon, and a butcher steel off of Amazon. Don't buy a cheap butcher steel. Get one that's you don't have to spend a fortune, but $15-20, something like that. There you can spend a lot more, but I think this one was like $16 or $17, and the same with this steel. It's 20 something bucks, or I can't remember. I'd have to look, but both of these will get it done. Like I said earlier, though, I think that the actual jewel stick that Dave sells on the website is probably a lot better option, because you have 3 different mediums to work with. You've got a coarse, medium, and a fine, and that would be a better option. So anyhow, you don't have to have a lot. You don't have to have a jig. I think probably it would make it easier starting out, but I do everything by feel and by hand, and that's just how I learned, and it works better for me, and it's one less thing I got to worry about keeping up with. So anyhow, y'all have a good one. God bless.